Hello and welcome. My name is Olga. I'm a relationships coach and advanced fast 50 practitioner, and I'm coming to you at this a bit of a time of uncertainty and a lot of anxiety and fear. And so I wanted to broadcast and share a few things that are happening here behind the scenes in Houston, Texas, where I am. I wanted to extend lots of love and compassion and whatever you guys are going through right now. This video is being recorded on 3/20/2020, so it's 20th of March 2020, and this is a time when we're going through a worldwide pandemic of COVID-19, and I think it's affecting just about every area of our lives. I'm talking to people from all over the world, and it looks like people in Australia and in Russia are less affected, but those of us who are in Europe and the United States are feeling bigger impact. So in today's video, I wanted to do a round of tapping with you to help you get more grounded, to help you clear any fear or anxiety or worry or a feeling of uncertainty or maybe even panic coming up. But I did want to tell you, what's going on here in Houston, Texas. And so right now, the schools are closed for a week. So we have a 7-year-old and 10-year-old home right now with us. We're kind of setting up our house to where they have their own place to learn. So my husband set a computer for them yesterday, and then we're giving them some worksheets and some reading assignments. Now he is working from home too. So Ernie closed his office and he sent his secretary home, and he turned her into a part-time virtual assistant. So he sent her with the phone and with a printer. And so myself, I've been working from home, so there's not a whole lot of changes for me in my business, but obviously things are changing for everybody, so it affects, of course, me as well. And so we are trying to stay home. We are not getting out and going to the stores or restaurants, which restaurants are closed right now. They are only open for delivery and takeout. And courts are closed, libraries are closed, and so the life is different as we know it. But we do go for a walk daily. Every night we'll go for a 30-minute walk. And so that helps. And so things overall actually are not bad here, and we feel very blessed, and we're in a household where everybody get along really well, everybody like everybody, and so we count in our blessings, and we're using this time to connect and spend with the family, and we're playing a lot of board games, we're reading Bible together. And so what I want to talk to you about is some things that you can do right now, wherever you are, to help you get through this difficult time, whether you're isolation, whether you are with a family or you're alone. And so the first thing that I wanted to start with you, and this is something that #note to myself, is an important idea that whatever you focus on expands, right? And Robert Smith talked about it, and most of the teachers and people who are helping us with our self-growth talk about that. And so be mindful of where your attention goes and how much attention you spend on social media and news, especially if this is something that is not positive. Now, it's important to stay informed, and it's important to stay informed in a timely manner, but you can still set some healthy boundaries. So one thing that I do is do my very best not to look at the phone first thing that I wake up, not to look at the phone last thing before I go to bed, right? Because those are very, very impactful things for our brain and our psyche. And of course, if you are coming from a place of fear, you're feeding the fear. So please do tap on fear. Do whatever spiritual practice is helping you to deal with this, because we not only feed it, we spread it, right? Through our businesses, through our loved ones. And so start being very, very conscious, how you spend your time, where you spend your time, and be mindful of how much you are actually feeding the fear. Now, with that said, I'm on the same boat with you. I do feel all of these emotions, and they're quite overwhelming. As a matter of fact, the last few days, mid through the day, I was starting to feel very tired, and almost every day I need to take a nap, because I think part of my brain, at least 50% of my brain, trying to process all these changes and how fast they are happening. And for us, entrepreneurs and small-time businesses, it affects us on many levels because it's our immediate salary, right? So if you are working for somebody, maybe you still continue getting salary, maybe you got laid off. but for us, that's the situation, right? And so start noticing how it's affecting you, and then of course, prioritize self-care. I've made an entire blog post on what kind of things you can do to help you get through these hard times, especially if you're in isolation. So I talk about 10 things that you can do to help you, and I'll make sure to drop the link there below. But those are very simple things. So what we do is I do morning pages every morning. I sit down and write for 20-30 minutes. It's just free writing. It's a beautiful exercise. I tap, we tap daily, and I tapped with my practitioner yesterday, which was very helpful actually. I was able to sleep much better after the tapping session. We started to meditate. We did 5-minute meditation before going to sleep, and today we're going to do meditation with kids right after the lunchtime. So we're going to have lunch. After lunchtime, they have 1 hour quiet time. We're going to sit down, do 5-minute meditation to get grounded, to get calm and peaceful, and get some alone time. If you're stuck in the house with people, start creating some healthy boundaries where you can say, you know what, this hour, please do not disturb. I need my alone time. I need to reconnect. I need to do things that fuel my heart and fuel my soul. And so have this conversation with people around you. And then the third thing I want to talk to you about is be a helper. Find somebody to help, find somebody to reach out, and those could be some really little things. Maybe you can call a friend and ask how they're doing. Maybe you can reach out to somebody on Facebook and just send them love and compassion or a kind word, right? Maybe find free people that you can thank them today somewhere in your environment, whether it's virtually or in person. Yesterday we went for a walk, and me and Vicky were playing a game. We were taking turns sharing 5 things that we are grateful for. Well, it's 5 things altogether, but we were taking turns sharing it. And I taught her how I teach it to my clients, and shared in a format. I'm grateful for blank because blank, right? And so she really liked that game, and it help her bring up her spirit. And I have 2 daughters, so Sophie is 10 and Vicky is 7, and they taking it really differently. Like my 10-year-old taking it in stride. She does self-schooling, she does games, and all the things that we put in structure. She's pretty much cool with that. But Vicky is really struggling. She comes to me, she cries a lot. She asked me to tap on her multiple times a day, and she's asking what can she do to feel better. So I actually told her yesterday, Vicky, if you want to feel better, help somebody. Find somebody to help. Find someone to add value, and you will actually feel better. And Ernie was sitting there. We were having dinner all together. He was like, yeah, and if you run out of things to help, just tell me. I have 100 things that you can help with. And so little things, right? So tell that to kids, how they can contribute. And she said, yeah, Mom, that's true. Yesterday when we were cooking together and I was helping, I did feel better. And so those are really good, very simple exercises to help your family member, to help yourself. And so let's go ahead and do some tapping on things that are coming up. And if you're not familiar with tapping, it's a very simple acupressure exercise, but it really helps you like nothing else. At least that's what I've discovered when you are going through difficult times. And so what happens, I think Ernie is watching my video. Hi Ernie, he just sent me a heart. And so what happens is, like literally yesterday, my body was in a state of a low-grade stress, right? It's like the tension, I could feel it in my jaw, I could feel it in my chest, in my shoulders, a bit of my neck. And we were sitting and tapping, and I was just saying out loud what I feel. And by the end of the session, I could relax, like my shoulders dropped, right? So what I want to invite you today is to notice what's coming up for you, to notice what kind of feelings you're experiencing, and most importantly, where do you feel it in your body? Because it's your body that's your subconscious mind, and that's how you are carrying, those feelings around you. So another thing, a little tip that I want to share before we start the tapping round is what is it bringing up, right? So what traumatic memories does this situation in the world and in your household bring it up? So me and Ernie did some tapping, a couple of stage of fear. Yep, that's a good question. Let's tap on that. And so a couple of days ago, I said, Ernie, what is it bringing up for you? He said it was the Hurricane Harley, and when my business was shut up, and it just everything just kind of stopped. And for me, what it brought up is when my daughter was diagnosed with cancer, because I felt like my whole world is falling apart. And so if you have traumatic memories from the past, the chances are your subconscious will be pulling those experiences right now. And so the impact that you're feeling of this difficult time as it is stronger. And so when you do the tapping round, and we'll do this right now. We'll tap on a fear for sure. Thank you for asking, Anurag. And so bring that into, so you can start clearing that versus self-traumatizing yourself, right? And I shared it with my practitioner yesterday when we were tapping together. I said, that's it, that's coming up for me. So what comes to you guys? So what comes to mind? So I'm gonna close your eyes, and if you're listening live, feel free to drop in a few feelings that are, popping up for you. So fear is one of them. And then of course, uncertainty is another big one for many. Worry, maybe you just have this low-grade exhaustion or low-grade tiredness. That's something that Ernie shared. He goes like, it takes me 3 times more to do simple tasks than it usually is. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's feeling sleepy, or anything else. So just kind of bring it up. Know that you're in a safe space. Know that we will clear them. You don't have to like tighten it up and carry it with you all the time, because that's what exhausting us, right? It's really exhausting. And go ahead and just take a deep breath. Go ahead and breathe in. And breathe out. And first thing that I want you to notice is just kind of close your eyes. Is where do you feel this feeling? Where is it in your body, right? So that fear, where do you feel it? And if the answer is in your head, I'm going to encourage you to drop into your body and notice where it is in your body, if possible. And so, so Anurag said, my mind goes blank when I'm asked to speak about anything on stage. Oh yeah, definitely that makes a lot of sense. I think stage fear is only amplifies our natural state of fear. And so start noticing what's popping up for you. And if it's going blank, we'll tap on that too. It's kind of part of that equation. And as you do, so we're going to go ahead and do, this tapping round, and we'll do a bit of a setup statement. And so in your mind, I want you to imagine that you are holding 2 helium balloons. In your mind, imagine that you're holding into helium balloons. Now release and let go of the balloons in your mind. And as they fly away and disappear in the distance, notice that. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And they're completely gone, turn into a dot, just nod your head. So. And I want you to feel those feelings and be present with them and notice them, and take a deep breath, breathe in. And breathe out. And are you ready to let it go? And if you are, just nod. Obviously I cannot see you, but I trust that you'll nod. And I just take 2 fingers, so the point that we're going to use is this one here, this one here, this one here. There's this point right here in the collarbone. And just tap with me and repeat after me. Say, I release and let go of this feeling of fear. The blank, feeling of exhaustion, everything that's happening on this planet, all the way it's affecting me, all the way it's affecting my family, all the way my body's trying to process it. I release and let it go. The low-grade tiredness, the tension, the uncertainty. I choose to be present with my feeling. I choose to drop into my body and feel what's coming up. It's safe for me to feel my feelings. There are certain things I'm in control, and others I'm not. So I choose not to use my energy on the things that I'm not in control of. It's safe to let it go. I release and let it go. I choose to feel differently. I cannot choose what I do. I cannot choose what's happening. I cannot choose how people react, but I can choose how I feel. So I choose to feel relaxed. I choose to feel grounded. I choose to feel at peace. I choose to find beauty in the present moment. Just to look around the room. Just to notice that I'm safe right here, right now, in this moment. I'm safe. If I'm in the present moment, I'm always safe. All fears comes from not being in the present. The fears coming from living in the past or living in the future. And the second that I drop into my body and stay in the present moment, I can access the state of peace that's always inside of me. It's safe for me to do that. I choose to do it more often. I choose to practice that state of peace, even if we are in the midst of turbulence. It's safe to let it go. I release and let it go. Wonderful. When I finish tapping, go ahead and grab your wrist and just kind of pulse around. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Drop your shoulders. All right, so do this for me, guys. Go ahead and close your eyes. And in your mind, I want you to go and step into happy, peaceful memory. Now, it doesn't have to be anything complicated or big. Could be, you know, maybe you walk in the nature, or maybe you were sitting by the ocean, or a celebration with the family. It doesn't matter where it is. What we want to find is a happy, peaceful memory, okay? And I want you to go there, step into this memory, and just kind of notice how it feels. So my mind went to a game of Catan we played as a family last night. It's actually very fun. And so as you step into your memory, I want you to notice 3 feelings that you have in there. Happy, good, peaceful feelings. So for me, those are the one of connection, joy, fun, and just notice what's coming up for you. What kind of feelings coming up in that memory. And just kind of stay there for a few seconds. Notice it in your body. So for me, it's like right here in my chest. Where is that feeling for you? Give yourself permission to feel it. Feel that feeling. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Say the word peace. And feel free to use this tapping, video as often as you need, when you need to get back into the present moment, when you feel like you're overwhelmed and overcome by fear. Notice how your body is more relaxed. Like I can feel less tension in my shoulders. And if you need more support, if you need more help, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to work through with you, whatever's coming up for you. And, I wanted to send you so much compassion and love and peace. And if you are one of my clients who ever tap with me, or if you never tap with me and you're not on my client, I wanted to let you know that I'm tapping with you distantly. I'm sending you much peace and love. And I actually honestly believe that things are going to work out despite of how difficult things might be for you right now. Alrighty guys, much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.